Hi, it's Micheline with Fit and Happy for Yourself, and it is still race week for me, so I decided to do one more video on this time on what not to do on race day. There are a few mistakes that you definitely want to avoid in order to have a successful, enjoyable, fun race day. So there are really 8 of them that I have come up with, and they really kind of like common sense. But sometimes when we get so excited, we start to overthink ourselves and common sense kind of goes out the window. So here are 8 mistakes that you definitely do not want to do on race day. Some of them already you shouldn't do the entire week before the race, but you definitely don't want to do them on race day. Number 1 is don't second guess yourself. Trust your training. Don't second guess yourself. Don't suddenly think, oh my God, I don't know, I've trained this way, but maybe this is not the way to go. You see all the runners around you and you suddenly start second guessing and you start comparing yourself to others and you start mimicking what they are doing. That's not what you should do. You need to run your race the way you trained for it. Remember, this is your race. You trained for your race. You trained with your body. You did not train with that other person's body. You don't know how this is going to work. So it is your race and it's the way you want to run it. If you have trained with a 3-minute walking warm-up and you get to the starting line and you really haven't had that warm-up yet, because most of the times you really can't start walking around before the starting line because it's sometimes a staggered start. So you all stand there in line waiting for the thing to go off, and everybody, as soon as the start is, everybody starts running. But now you didn't have your 3-minute warm-up, but you see everybody running, so you run with it. But that only means you're going to run out of steam a lot quicker. So therefore, do your walk, do your 3-minute walk. Do exactly how you have trained, because that's how you're going to finish strong. Who cares what the other people are doing? They have trained a certain way and they're not caring what you're doing. So do your 3-minute walk up and then start running. Nobody's going to judge you. All that counts is that you finish the race and that you finish it in a good condition, not half crawling over the finishing line. So trust your training and don't second guess yourself and don't start comparing yourself to other people. Tip number 2 pretty much goes with tip number 1. Race day is not the day to change anything up. And that goes for the way you trained. Again, if you walked in the beginning, this is not the time to change things up and start running. Believe me, I did that on my first one and it didn't turn out that well. So also, if you have trained with nothing before you run, no food, or maybe just a half banana or very minimal food, then race day is not the day to suddenly have a big breakfast before you go race. Keep everything the way you've been training for it. Training time is the time to experiment and change things, not race day. Tip number 3, you do not want to hit the wall. Now, hitting the wall is not actually running against the wall. You don't want to do that either. But hitting the wall as a runner is when you absolutely cannot give anymore. You have no energy. You're just done. You have no more to give. Once you get to that point, there's no turning back. So you never really want to get to that point. Hitting the wall really has 3 reasons why you do it. Either you started too quickly, too fast. Again, if you didn't train that way, you shouldn't start that quickly. You did not train for that mileage. I had that mistake. I ran my first half by never running a half before. Not even running anything close to it. The most I ever ran was 3 miles. And then I went for a 13 mile. Yeah, I hit that wall. So if you didn't get up to that mileage or anywhere close to it at least, you're going to hit that wall. You don't want that. And The third reason is you're gonna get cramps. Your muscles start cramping up, and it's gonna hurt. You just can't go any further. And then you have to really worry about hurting your muscles, pulling anything, and that's gonna sideline you for way too long. So if that happens, really evaluate if you're gonna continue or not. Muscle cramps are easy to avoid though. Make sure you get your electrolytes in. Muscle cramps usually happen because you don't have enough salt in you. You drank plenty of water, but you flushed all the salt out. So either during the race or before the race, have some salty snacks to get some salt in you. Tip number 4, skipping electrolytes. Make sure during the entire week already, you keep up your hydration and you keep up your electrolytes. That goes in also for race day. Make sure that during the race you have some electrolytes. Either bring them with you, like I will, or usually the water stations also have some Gatorade. Have a little bit of that. That will also give you electrolytes. If you don't want the sugar in the Gatorade, or if you're allergic to it, like me, because most fake sugars I'm allergic to, then bring your own electrolytes. But make sure those are up to par, because it will make your entire body run a lot better and make you feel better. So tip number 5, do not have a big pre-race dinner. There's also this like the night before, but it also counts for the breakfast before. Don't eat a lot. You're not gonna have time to digest it. It's gonna sit in your stomach like a big rock, and it's just gonna make you sluggish. And most likely you will also have some bathroom issues during the race. And during the race, you know what's on that course, porta-potties. You don't want to spend any more time than necessary in those porta-potties. So make sure you eat lightly the night before, or eat something that you know you can easily digest. Again, don't change up your routine. Tip number 6. Not counting or not preparing for shaving. Believe me, things will start rubbing, especially when you start getting sweaty and when you are running for like 3 hours. So prepare for that. You know, if you bring some tape, put some band-aids on it, bring some Vaseline to keep things smooth. Body Glide helps. So count for that. I don't usually have to count. No, I haven't had any problems with that, but at least I already have something with me in case it does happen. Tip number 7, watching the clock. Don't watch the clock during the race. It's only going to screw with your mind, because then you're going to be like, oh my God, I'm too slow. I trained faster than this. And then you're going to speed up, but your body is not ready for it. Try to preserve some of the energy in the beginning for the end. So don't watch the clock. Just enjoy the race. Just get there and enjoy it. Run at a good pace, because don't watch the clock. If you're too focused on it, you're not going to have time to enjoy anything around that. So don't watch the clock. Last tip. Prepare mentally. Biggest mistake is not preparing mentally for a long time on that course. A race, it's long. A half marathon is like 3 hours. Marathon is even longer. A 5K is only 30 minutes, but for a beginner running, that's also a long time. Most of the times you don't really know the course. So you're running it for the first time, so you're not in familiar grounds. You don't know how long until the next corner or something. Prepare mentally. You're going to start doubting yourself. You're going to start talking down on yourself. You're going to start wanting to give up. You're going to hit those points where you just mentally don't want to do it anymore. I did. Believe me, I was ready to quit. But honestly, on the side of the road, I was like, well, how am I going to get to my car? I have no idea how long it is until a bus or another race, person comes by to pick me up. All I wanted to get was to my car. So that's what kept me going. What also will help is having some family members there. If you have family or friends there that can cheer you on, that can help you mentally a lot. Also, remember why you signed up for this race. If you sign up because you want to accomplish something, so keep that in mind. If you sign up because you wanted to have fun, then have fun. If you sign up to make this a qualifying race for a later one, which I'm doing, then keep that in mind. You know, keep in mind why you did it. And most of all, just have some fun. Don't overthink it. And just have some fun and run a good race. And then sign up for the next one.